Welcome. In the previous episode, we refactored our tokenizer, and in this one, we are going to refactor the parser.h file. We can begin by creating the ast.h file and move all of the AST related code to this file. Do not forget to include stdleave and string view. We can also move the implementation for these four functions. After that, we need to include assert.h, and finally we can include it in the main.c file. After that, we can include the ast.h file back into our parser.h file. And before running the script again, we must first fix one of the macros from the previous episode by just adding one parenthesis here and the right parenthesis here. Now we can run the script, and as you can see, the result is exactly the same. Now inside the ast.h file, I want to include the token.h file, and I want to introduce a new kind of constructor called ast_new string from tokens. This is basically going to accept some tokens and then create a new ast of type string. The implementation is going to be pretty straightforward. It's just going to shift the tokens, make sure that the token we shifted is actually a string, and then construct a new ast node. This means that we can replace the selected code inside parser expression by this one. Since now we are using these two functions, we can now simplify this code to actually return an AST pointer instead of modifying a perimeter. This means that this function is now going to look like this, much cleaner. Now we just need to modify these two lines of code to look like this. Note that we are using null as an expression that failed to parse. And then we can extract all of this code into a single function called parser parse function call. And then we can replace this by a single return. We can also update the error. After that, we can also create a new function called parser advanced token kind, which is just going to advance the token kind we expect from tokens, and if that's not the case, we'll report an error. This means that we can replace this code by a single call to this function, and also replace this code by a single call to this function. Now we need to replace some errors. For example, here we need to replace token_id by the first token. And here we actually need to replace these not equals by equals. Now if we run our script in the following code, we will get the expected result. And this is how we started to clean up some of the parser code. In the next video, we'll be back to function definition and adding some parameters to it.